How's it going, guys? Welcome back to our Dynamic Discs Open course preview series. I'm Danny, this is Anthony, and we played a doubles round against Eric McCabe out at Jones Gold. And the idea of this is to just give you an idea of the Jones Gold course if you're coming to Emporia and you've never seen the course before. It was not super hotly competitive. It's not like a duel or anything. We were just mostly out there having a good time, but we thought it would be a good way to showcase the course.
Totally, yeah. And it was a chance for us to play against Eric McCabe, and you know, if we beat him, we get to rub it in his face forever.
And if he wins, that's what was expected.
Yeah,
so,
totally to be expected. No skin off our back.
We have nothing to lose here. All right, let's jump into it. So hole 1 here at Jones Gold is a par 5, 782 feet. It's going to play as a par 4 for the MPO, and it plays from hole 9 of Jones East to hole 11. So the landing zone is kind of the same as hole 9, where you just throw the tunnel shot and try to land in that open area. But rather than just kind of pitching up to the basket, you have to full send another shot, like 450 plus, to get to this basket here, and then you have a shot at your eagle.
Yes, it is far. People talk about two-shot par 4s. This is absolutely a two-shot par 4. Eric going straight up the middle there. I think that might be the new evader.
That it was, for sure. It's a sneak peek at it.
Yeah. This was... I tried to go EMAC Truth just up the gut, and I was mad because I was like, dude, your disc isn't supposed to hit trees.
He's got those on remote controllers, I hear.
Yeah. That's probably why I hit
talk about
the
my
tree.
shot there at all. Don't. Yeah, that was a getaway just on way too much hyzer. So here we're trying to just get around the corner. Right before throwing that, you said there's one thing that you need to miss.
Yeah. Eric said, go for it. What's the worst thing that could happen? This right here is the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danny, for just pitching up.
I was going to do that regardless. There's not much you can do from back there. So here, this is an example of, like, if we wanted to go for the green there, it's a smash.
Yes,
And
it's very far.
EMAC was barely safe. He's got probably 430, maybe more or so to get to the basket.
Yeah, that's one of the Lucid X trespasses that he loves, and that's parked.
That is underneath it, in the shadow. We've got probably like 50 feet here, maybe 60. Uphill.
Yeah, it's uphill, so you can give it a little bit of a run without going too far past.
Especially in doubles. But you got to get it to the basket first. That's kind of step one.
This is true. Yeah,
So
and that's
EMAC
Eric. Yeah.
Casual
Gross.
eagle on the first hole, no problem. Or we count it as a birdie because we played it as a par 4. Hole 2 here is normal hole, I think 15 from Jones East, except to the long position. So it's a 351-foot par 3. You're going to kind of throw usually like a turnover, a hyzer flip turnover, or you could throw a big forehand around everything, or a big hyzer. It's just a couple of trees to really miss down there late. And you don't want to fade into the road OB.
Right.
This is a sneak peek at the EMAC judge from EMAC here.
Hey.
I keep saying sneak peek like nobody's seen them before, but like there's videos out there. This is just another one.
None of this quality. That's a really good shot for the short. He'll have probably just outside the circle. Look at it. You're going bounty here?
Yeah, it had a little bit of a tailwind. It didn't flip it, so that's very OB.
Yeah, out of your hand it looked good. It just, like you said, didn't get that flip. I'm going maiden just to try and go straight. And
It's a smart play.
is straight and a little bit short. So we've got probably, again, about 50, this time downhill.
It's a good risk-reward hole, though. Because, like, the
Yes.
putter shot's probably not going to park it, but you're never going OB.
Right, and like you had talked about the sidearm out over the road, that's definitely in play for the short, but you have to throw it so well to get the ground action all the way over to the long basket. Eric, a little closer than I thought, inside the circle. Easy for him.
Not a problem. Hole 3 here is a par 4, 630 feet, and it plays from hole 16 to hole 17's basket. And actually, this baseball field that we're flying over right now is going to be OB. So there's going to be a pretty significant part of the field that's OB. So technically, you could go for like straight there if you throw 600 feet on a backhand, but most people are just going to play a straight shot off the tee and then play basically 17 normal.
Yeah, so Eric here is just kind of taking the layup. The layup ideally is just close to 17 East's tee pad. The straight shot that you had talked about is basically running up the tee pad sideways, and you want to throw to the left of this cedar tree right there and just smash a 600 plus foot turnover.
Not a problem. This
Yeah,
shot, though, is way too far left because that baseball field is OB. That is, I thought I'd throw a putter just to be safe, and then I threw it horribly, and it was very OB.
Yes.
This is actually a shot from the FPO tee pad. This is just 17 normal out at east. That's just to show you what that looks like.
Yeah, and Eric is in. You could get a little bit farther left and a little bit farther up from where Eric was to be in the ideal landing spot. Mine is borderline on the OB line. Right here you can see it. It's very close to where the line is going to be. So you don't want to push it as far left as I did. But if you do, you've got a fairly routine up and down from, what would you say, about 330-ish?
Yeah, 330, 350. It's downhill, though, so it's not going to play that long.
Right. Yeah, I'm going EMAC Truth straight at it. You flicked a Sergeant?
Yep.
Yeah.
EMAC just right at the edge of the circle, and never a doubt. He's so good at putting.
Yeah. Well, when your name is on the disc, you have to be.
I should try that. How do you learn that technique?
Right.
Hole 4 here is Jones East 18 to the long position, the par 4 position. So your first shot is just a turnover. There's usually a fairway divider on the left, so just a turnover anywhere near the area that we're flying over right now, and then either a backhand or a forehand, some kind of pitch up to land on a fairly narrow green. But if you're on there, you're pretty much going to have a putt. You just don't want to be in the bushes.
Right. Yeah, you can be, if you're in the bushes, you can be, 18 feet away and just not have a look at it.
Just nothing. Plus,
Yes.
it's kind of gross in there,
Very.
So that was an EMAC Truth from EMAC there. Just a turnover right in the perfect spot per the usual.
I'm throwing Maverick here a little bit too tight from what I wanted. You, again, do not want to be in the bushes at any point on this hole.
That's a good point. I'm also going Maverick. I threw this one too hard. If we didn't have like a headwind or we had any sort of helping wind, I might have found the parking lot OB there, but I ended up short of that. But that is a danger you can find there.
Yeah.
This is EMAC Judge from EMAC again.
Right, he's just playing at 2 turnovers. If you've got it, you can go 2 sidearms, and the hole plays really well that way as well. Justice for me here, I just got scared.
Yeah.
And I went from one bush to another one.
That parking lot will be closed off for the dynamic discs open, but
Still very much OB. There just will be no cars.
yes.
Justice from you there?
Yeah, medium Justice just ended up a little bit short. No worries though, I got a partner.
No need.
Good putt. I think that was our first birdie? No, we birdied the last hole.
Yeah.
We were stoked with that. And EMAC with tap in naturally.
As
Hole
he
5
does.
here, par 4, 641 feet. It plays from 14's tee pad to hole 12's basket, which is the elevated basket. So off the tee, you're going for a distance shot that doesn't quite reach the water. Usually you want to be a little bit farther right too, because that's a little bit higher, and that makes that second shot easier. But the distance is really hard to read on the second shot because of the water. Mm-hmm. This is Lucid X Trespass from EMAC here.
Yep. Yeah, this is ideal.
Perfect.
If you get too far left, then you're actually going to be playing from the hillside, and you have to try and throw a push hyzer with uphill footing over water the whole time, and it can be scary. This was Raider, just flipped too much.
There is going to be a fairway divider over there too, right?
Right, between this and hole 2 gold, there will be a fairway divider, so mine would actually be out of bounds there.
And mine is close to finding the out of bounds on the other side. That's a hybrid Raider. And that's kind of where you're talking about, where you're on that little bit of an upslope. EMAC here is in the perfect spot. This is a Biofusion Defender. He can just smash a hyzer.
Yep.
And that tree looks like it'd be in play, but if you push that tree, you're going to be long anyway.
Yep.
So it's kind of not as much in play as you would think.
And I think to clear the water, what would you say, about 350-ish?
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. It's daunting. It seems like it would be longer than I think it actually is. Mm-hmm. You went Raider. I think I also am going Raider. And
Mine didn't flip at all, and yours flipped too much. It's like the wind was messing with us there.
Yeah, and you can see this is my shot. It went past the tree, and you can see how far past the basket we actually are. Really good run there. Almost made it.
We're 35, 40 feet out.
At least, yeah, if not more.
Had the height on that one. I hate putting uphill into a headwind. It's my least favorite.
Scary.
Especially to
session.
only lose one stroke. I was happy to make a putt finally. I'd missed several at this point, but I'm not putting those in the video. So, so EMAC has us by 4 strokes right now.
Yes, 4 through 5.
Hole 6 at Jones Gold plays hole, what is this, 13? Yeah, hole 13, Jones East normal to the long position. So your first shot's going to be laying up to about this area. This creek will be OB, and then you have to play either a forehand or a turnover, or if you're to the right, you can actually go up and over and just try to stick it next to this basket here.
Yep. Yeah, I think goal number 1 is going to be to get it to the left side so you can play through the gap, and then you can kind of scramble up and over depending on where you are. Eric, I believe this was Lucid X Trespass again.
I think that was an EMAC actually. Like an EMAC Truth.
That would also make sense.
I threw a getaway about as hard as I can, and it's just as far. So
about the same distance.
Yeah, he's just playing for position there, not trying to get to the creek. And I thought I was in a good spot, but I ended up too far right. We would have had to go up and over from mine.
Yeah, there's kind of like this weird in-between area where if you're not far enough left or right, you almost have nothing, because that's where the trees are at their highest and you're super pinched off from the gap. So we ended up taking mine. It was more open to the gap, awkward footing.
And that just got knocked down by the wind.
Yep.
So I thought I'll just put it up high. And I didn't.
Same color disc, almost the exact same result.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric was actually close to being pinched off of the sidearm.
Oh.
Yeah, he had to push that tree safe.
When you hit those trees, it can drop into the creek real fast.
Mm-hmm. Looks like just a pitch up there from Eric.
Mm-hmm. And this is your upshot?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was a Opto-X Explorer, right?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good putt, too.
Yeah, I want Explorer to get a little bit more push rather than a dump at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Got one back, though.
Nice. Hole 7 is Jones East, hole 1, just 355 feet to the long position. So the play, if you have it, is a forehand. You just want to throw pretty standard forehand, and if you have it, this is a birdie that you're probably going to get most of the time. If you don't have that much forehand, or you do easily and just don't like to bring it out on the course that much, you could throw like a turnover, kind of a hyzer flip line, but the risk is going deep into that creek, or into that dip will roll away pretty fast, or the road actually is deep over there, or is OB there deep. This is a fantastic forehand.
Yes,
that was crushed.
Yeah, right there I said, that might be the best shot I've ever thrown on this hole, because that was really good.
That's good power, good angle. This, I was trying to get it to work a little bit more right, but I believe we had a tailwind here. It just never flipped. I cleared the road there, though, so.
Smashed it.
Mm-hmm. The wrong direction, but.
EMAC throwing EMAC.
And that's what the turnover's supposed to look like. That is beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, it's tough because you want to push it where it looks like you can't get a disc. Mm-hmm. But if you do, then you just do that, and you're really good.
It's a solid cleanup for EMAC.
Hey.
It was like 25 feet. Yeah. Hole 8 here is Jones East, hole 2 to Jones West, hole 4 in the short position. It's a par 4, 585 feet. This creek and left, I believe, is going to be OB. So your tee shot is going to be a turnover or some sort of flex shot that works to the right, and then you have to kind of find a line through these trees to get up by the basket. And the number one thing you don't want to do is be in that cedar tree, because you can be 15 feet away there and not have a putt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Fusion Raider here, and I just turned it a little bit too much out of my hand. It hit the ground, it cut rolled back, ended up pretty far back here.
Yeah, if you do that exactly, the slope of the grass up there it can do that, where if you don't start panning out, it can just hit and straight roll right into the OB again. I threw the exact same disc because I didn't pay attention to your shot.
Yours was a little bit higher, though, so it ended up actually getting farther right, and we had a pretty good look from there. I believe this is Ballista Pro from EMAC.
Yeah, just crushed.
That's what you're looking for. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's ideal.
It's nice that like we can show the mistakes to make, and then he can show what to do properly.
Right. Yeah, so on this one, I was really concerned about throwing straight into that basket.
Oh, no.
So I almost did that. That's not the basket we're going for.
So here I thought, just keep it on hyzer, and boy, did I. A little too much hyzer there. We still have a putt. It's not pinned up behind that tree, but that's just a little bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
EMAC's just going EMAC Judge here. Gentle turnover. He's got that disc on a string.
Yeah, like you said, you get up there and you just have to kind of find a way. There's options if you want backhands or sidearms or whatever.
Good putt.
Jam.
Jeez. Someone brought their putter pants.
Hey. Eric was not in the tree, though it may look like it.
Yeah. Hole 9 here is actually a new tee pad. It's kind of towards the street from hole 4 of West's basket, and it's a par 4, 613 feet. Your first shot is going to be, it looks like you need to throw it more over the road than you need to, because the road's OB, but you can be left. And so you just throw a big hyzer off the tee if you're a righty, and then you should have a fairly straightforward upshot.
Yeah, and this one is, you can tell a little bit on camera, it is more uphill than you think.
Yeah.
It says 613, but if you have 600 feet of power, you're not going to get close.
Yeah.
It's definitely a two-shot hole, and I think that's why you're going to see, like we're doing here, you can push the road, but you don't want to try and crush it out over the road.
There's no reason to mess with that.
Yeah, there's no danger up and to the left, so if you just get up there, even Eric didn't even go over the road at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just get up and left and leave yourself a safe approach.
We both went Raider, and EMAC went Ballista Pro. This is his shield.
Mm-hmm.
You know that FPB that Michael Johansson has? I feel like this is the FGS, the freaking green shield that EMAC has, and it always just lands right underneath the basket. I just went Warden here for the upshot, and it's because of the slope. It's weird the way the distance reads. It's hard to tell how far away you are. EMAC from Circle's Edge.
Just about, yep.
Oh, that's the first one he's missed.
That might be his first miss.
Hole 10 here is, I'm losing track. I think 7 of West down to 4.
It's hole 4 east, yep.
Hole 4 east, yeah. It's a par 4, and it's weird because it's downhill and there's OB long left. So usually downhill you just want to crush it, but with the downhill, discs tend to fade out. And so you do not want to let your disc fade out at all. So I'm going Hybrid Raider here. This one's actually pretty stable, so I made sure to get it to the right. And the danger with that is this big cedar. And I barely snuck through that, but those branches will grab your disc and eat it if you're not careful.
Yeah, you want to throw a similar shot to hole 8's tee shot, where you want to just push something over and have it pan, but rather than it being uphill, it's downhill, and the danger is a lot farther up and to the left. So it's kind of a similar shot, just on steroids.
Yeah, just a lot more on the line.
Yes.
EMAC went Slammer there, and I'm going Lucid X Felon here. I think we had a right to left kind of headwind, so I'm throwing forehand just to keep the top into it.
Yeah, you really want to just get past that cedar tree and approach. Really, you'll have many options. I'm going Justice here, way outside, and a little bit short.
EMAC here from 33 or so. Just
a little uphill, a little windy. Jam.
Well, you were across the this is actually EMAC filming because you forgot a disc and you were going to get it.
This is true.
Hole 11 here is 325. This is normal hole 9 from Jones West, and the only difference is that this creek is going to be the backside of an island, so you have to clear the creek to be safe. But it's just a pretty straight shot. You're going to take your mid-range, usually, unless it's like a pretty stiff headwind. Like I've got a getaway in my hands here, and you're just going to try and throw it straight. I sawed that off, though. That was horrible.
Yeah, this one, it really comes down to touch. The island should never come into play. It's just kind of a mental thing. If you throw it too low, like someone may or may not have done,
who knows?
It can almost come into play. Yeah.
I think EMAC said there's going to be like a wall at the front of that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
okay.
But this is how you're supposed to play it.
Yeah, super routine. Just throw mid straight. Oh.
And he actually got a celebrity substitution here. This is Isaiah Esquivel. He was just out there playing, and that's a verdict. And he decided to just, run the basket real quick for fun. Seems like a good idea.
Hey, question. We should have recruited Isaiah.
I get 2 world champions. How's that fair?
Right.
The trees around this basket can cause trouble, so you have to throw a bit of an anhyzer there, but usually you'll have some sort of look at it. EMAC here absolutely in the backpack on this hole.
He's just over there stretching it out, not even doing anything.
Hole 12 here is 850-foot par 5. It plays 10 to 11 on Jones West. Your tee shot is going to be just a distance line. You kind of want it to finish to the right so that you're lined up to shoot down hole 11's fairway. And then hole 11's fairway. If you throw like a crush off the first tee pad and then throw a really big roller, you can get there for a look at 3. But most people are going to be slightly off on either one of those, in which case you'll have like an 80-footer and then a tap in most cases.
Yeah, the ideal landing zone from the tee is kind of hole 11 West's tee pad, right? You just want to get it down there and close. If you can push past it, that's fine. EMAC going with a huge, not a Raider, this is a Lucid X Trespass.
Yeah.
Wind just kind of flipped that one on him a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You've got a Raider here. And that's the angle that you want, and that's just a little bit low. But if you get like that panning to the right and then straight finish, that is really good. And I thought that yours was flipping over in the headwind, and so I threw mine on a little more hyzer, and I ended up a little bit farther down there, but pinched off to the left a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. So EMAC's going trespass roller here.
Yep. I think this is going to be a really common second shot.
For sure. Because, I mean, the hill, if you don't get a bad bounce off the roots, and if you get the right angle, this can just go forever on this roller. It shapes perfectly for it. Mm-hmm. So there, I had kind of like a hyzer flip push hyzer thing, and did not end up in a good spot. Just kind of in that creek.
Yeah, I went Enforcer, tried to just miss those trees, and I got the trees.
From here, it's so hard to get up and down because of the ceiling, and the basket is set pretty far back from those trees.
Yeah.
So I tried to get up there. I turned that one a little bit too much. It caught the branches, and we ended up right at the edge of the woods there. Mm-hmm. There's that friggin' green shield.
Same shield.
Is it green or yellow?
It looks yellow.
Okay. So we've got like a 60-footer here. That's about as far as I can throw a jump putt, so I'm just full sending it at that point.
No
You're usually
what,
good for one of these around. Oh.
I tried.
EMAC actually went pretty deep on his upshot.
Probably 45 or so. Oh.
Off the cage. I think he's still got a stroke on us, though.
Yeah. He did second putt there, though.
Count half a stroke. Hole 13 here is a par 4, 651 feet. It plays from Jones West, hole 13 to hole 14 shorts basket. It's kind of a decision that you have to make off the tee. If you want to throw it past the cedar right next to 14's tee pad, you can try and crush it, or you can kind of bail out to the middle of 13's fairway and send it on your second. I watched EMAC here. He's got a Biofusion Defender in his hand. I believe we had a pretty stiff headwind here, too. And he's taking a safer look for sure. It's kind of sloppy footing over there, but he's never bringing the OB into play.
Yep.
I decided to go with that hybrid Raider again. I was feeling strong, so I thought I could throw it past the cedar on the right.
If you can get past it, that's definitely the spot to be. It makes your second shot so much easier from there.
Unfortunately, if you can't, you end up directly in the middle of the cedar.
This is true.
As I was demonstrating. Another sneak peek at the Evader here, even though everyone's seen him already. He's got probably like 350 or so to the basket from there, and so he's just a big hyzer, super easy shot if you're in a good spot. We are in a cedar here. Yeah.
Not quite the same difficulty level here. I tried to go with a super flippy Raider to just get out, and I got directly into the center of the other cedar.
That tends to happen. If you're in one cedar, you tend to find the other one. I thought this would flip over a lot sooner, but we had like left to right wind, and it did not.
Almost
in the
came
slightest.
Back there.
Yeah, the cable is actually the OB there. If you've never played this course before, it's not the road, it's the cable. From in this cedar, pretty much all I had was a forehand roller. I think that's kind of what you threw to.
Yeah, I just pitched out just to get us out so you could try something fun.
Okay. Yeah, this roller actually worked out really well. For as bad as the last one came out, we ended up like 20 feet away in a tree.
All the way to the next cedar.
Yeah,
just
perfect.
Hopping along. We had a weird little kind of upper chest push.
The Zach Melton special jam sesh, though. That was a sick putt. EMAC also imitating Zach Melton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he got a birdie, so arguably it's a better imitation.
Wrong hand, though.
Hole 14 is Jones West, hole 17, but the par 5 position. So it's 819 feet all the way down there. Off the tee, you've got to split the gap between the trees and just get it down there. And then for your second shot, you got to decide if you want to throw all the way to try to get to this basket here, or if you want to If you messed up your tee shot or something, you can lay up and then go for the basket. But it's definitely, you feel like you earned an eagle if you get a 3 on this one for sure.
Definitely. It takes 2 strong shots.
This came out so early for EMAC, and I didn't even see this one. You might have seen it. It just rolled out the right side of the tree, actually OB over the road.
Yep. Yeah, it kicked out, and then the wind just said nah and pushed it all the way. I'm taking Explorer here just to try and get up the middle, just get us through the gap, and then let Danny go for it. And did just that.
You executed just fine.
A little bit left, yeah. You're taking Raider and just smashing?
Yeah, I got it a little bit nose up, but I just wanted to make sure that I was left. There's kind of more space the farther down you go because of the shape of the road. EMAC's going Ballista Pro here again. He's definitely not running the green. He's just trying to get down there onto like that second landing zone.
Yeah, there's that weird little peninsula area that you can definitely land on. And again, the left side is far bigger than the right.
From here, we're like 4 something out, and because we're playing doubles, I go for this shot. I don't know if I do it in singles, but you kind of just got to challenge those trees there, and that ended up about as well as I could throw it.
Very good.
I was commenting about that, and EMAC said he could do that with a junior sheriff. And he tried and threw it about as far, so that felt real good.
Here I go with a regular non-junior Raider, just trying to see if I can't follow Danny's line just maybe a little closer. Skipping off the ice.
Nice.
Hey,
great
if
shot.
If you got it, use it.
I love how we're in short sleeves and there's ice.
Ice, yes.
This was so weird, yeah.
If that doesn't summarize winter in the Midwest, I don't know what does.
You can see if you lay up onto this shorter spot, you have a fairly straightforward upshot usually. You kind of have to shape a little bit of a shot, but there's big gaps. So EMAC with a 4 here, or 5 because of OB stroke, but after his tee shot, that's pretty solid.
Look at this guy.
Not a problem. I've never done that before.
Eagle.
I mean, that's normal for me. Hole 15 here at Jones Gold plays from Jones West hole 18 to Jones West hole 1's basket. And I believe the FPO is playing the short basket out here. So tee shot is either a forehand or a turnover shot, something distance controlled so you can get to that garden spot. If you really need to push, you can throw it over the water, which is a crazy shot, and you don't really gain that much, but it's there. And then you have a forehand or a turnover of some sort to try and get up by this basket.
Yeah, the tee shot is really similar to the same tee shot you would throw on 18 West. You're going bounty, which I really like, just a little early release.
Yeah.
Wind pushed it over the fence. I'm going Maverick, and that's just too high.
We are so good at Frisbees. Holy cow. But yeah, that's fine. It's safe, and we can just throw it. I think we end up going over the thing there. This is actually a smart play from EMAC. He's just trying to keep it low, make sure it's safe.
Whoa, massive skip there.
Wind kind of pushed it there, yeah. So from your shot, this is direct headwind. I'm going Fusion Raider over the water. I thought I put way too much hyzer on that, and it still flipped all the way over.
It's still working right. That's such a good shot.
I mean, it's not going to get us a birdie, but from where we were, I'm totally okay with that. And then we didn't know if mine was safe or not, so this is a layup from you.
Yep. Just pitching around with a felon.
EMAC, I believe, is going trespass here again.
I think so, yeah. He's kind of got a weird look where it has to go... It's like if you had a sidearm that could go about 400 feet, this would be the ideal spot for it.
Yeah.
Eric doesn't, but he doesn't care.
Stays safe, though.
Yeah, throws a great shot.
I mean, if you can do that too.
Oh,
Tickle the chains.
Tickle.
I can't believe this Raider got this far. I thought somebody kicked it. Like just tossed it a little bit closer to the basket trying to help me out.
I decided yours was laid up, but not laid up close enough.
Oh, gotcha.
So, yeah.
Smart.
Oh, almost ringing it up. Friendly roll.
Hole 16 here plays hole 5 of Jones West or Jones East, and so it's 425 par 3 because it plays uphill, so it's a little bit long for 425. Plus, there's usually a headwind, so I don't usually go for this hole. Yep. If you want a par, you can throw forehand, backhand, hyzer, whatever. Just get it safe and then pitch over the tall grass. This is going to be much taller grass too when the Dynamic Discs Open comes. So we're both just kind of laying up here, and then if you have the arm for it, you can absolutely go for it, and it's a completely valid play too.
Yeah, I mean, I think we both went felon, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of showing off the two different ways you can lay up. There's really no wrong way to do it. Just throw yourself into the short grass, and then you have almost the same shot again. Emac going for the green.
Just got a little high and stalled out on him.
A little high for this wind. Yep.
Yeah. But that's his play because he can throw that far. He just goes for it every time.
Yeah, if you've got it, it's definitely the play.
Mm-hmm. That's a blend justice from me. Just too far to the right. But we actually missed your upshot. Yours is much closer. And then there's that green shield.
Same shield, yep.
Were you razzing him or was he razzing you?
I was trying to razz him. Ended up
He
razzing
was
myself.
you.
Bummer.
How did we get all tied up? Holy cow.
This is why you play doubles.
Hole 17, par 3, 356. It plays normal hole 6 out at Jones East. And it's kind of the last holes are really a grind. It's par 5, par 4, par 4. And so we wanted to throw this one in there as a sort of a gettable par 3. You can go forehand all the way around everything. You can go kind of a flippy shot, or you can go the skip shot, just the pure hyzer the whole way, which is what I'm going for. I'm just trying to throw at the middle one of those 3 trees on the right. Mm-hmm. And I threw it at the left one and hit it.
I saw yours and tried to go sidearm, and I liked the angle out of my hand. It was just too high again.
Yeah. This is a tricky shot.
It really is. As gettable of a par 3 as this is, you can tell it's no joke. If you catch trees like Eric just did there, it can send you flying any which direction.
That tall grass is OB on the left, too. It's going to be taller and DDO and painted and everything.
Right.
EMAC was safe.
Yeah, it was close, and people will kick trees and get sent to OB for sure. I've seen that happen many times.
I've done that many times.
Right. Bunch of pitch-ups here for us, probably. Looks like shield from Eric there again.
It's kind of interesting the pressure that having like a gettable par 3 puts on in the middle of all these like really challenging holes. It's like, oh, okay, just don't worry about it. And then all of a sudden, it's the one that jumps up to get you.
Yep.
Hole 18 here plays Jones East, hole 17 to hole 8's basket. And so your tee shot is going to be just a big hyzer, just like, or not 17, 7. Just a big hyzer similar to hole 7's tee shot. And then from there, you have to decide if you want to try and send it all the way to the basket or just clear the grass. Or if you're in one of those cedars on the left, probably just pitch out and set yourself up.
Yeah, this first one here is all about position. You just want to put yourself in a good spot with some good footing. Looks like you're going Raider.
Yes, you do need to finish pretty good left here because there is a parking lot OB. So you kind of just throw it at the gap and make sure that you fade, but not too much.
Right, yeah, those cedars have cleared up a little bit, but there's still a ton of spots where you just have nothing but a pitch out, and that's not what you're looking for.
I guess if you're a lefty, if you need to go around the left side, there's a landing zone there, but it's just a lot smaller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you have if you take like the sidearm or the lefty route, it's definitely the cedars are more in play there. The landing zone's a lot smaller. I'm going Raider here, just trying to get across, putting every last little thing I've got in it. Push. Barely making it.
Got it though. You made it. That's a smash.
Barely getting there.
I tried to throw it really hard and yanked it over into the trees. Safe though.
Yes.
Laid up after you were already safe. I figured that was a good idea. Lucid X trespass.
Trespass, yep.
Yeah. We had a headwind on this hole, I think, and it just didn't flip it enough. Barely eked OB.
Oh, just trickles out. Hateful.
We were exhausted
80.
too. This course takes such a long time to play. There's some long holes, a lot of walking. We were beat.
Yeah, it is a long round for sure.
So that's us from like 80. Here's EMAC from like 70 for his par, I believe.
Yes.
And then he was actually
staring me down. So I said,
staring you down while he jammed
hey, Eric, I'm gonna stare you down from half the distance out.
But that is our preview for Jones Gold. Come on down to the Dynamic Discs Open just to play the courses, check it out if you're not signed up. If you are signed up, now you know what to expect and maybe what to prepare for. Yeah, thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe. We're going to try and do a lot of the courses around Emporia so that you can have a better idea of what to expect, whether you come to town for the Dynamic Discs Open or you come to town just to check out the town and see what's going on.
Yep.
We appreciate y'all, and we'll see you next time.